Alrighty guys, welcome back to Fog Wrestling here. It's weird, it's Friday the 13th. I haven't been murdered yet by any mad crazy people, so I guess, from the horror standpoint, I haven't had much to do, but watching SmackDown for 2 hours, you could consider itself to be a bit of a horror show. Probably easier on the eyes than Raw, if we're being honest, but still, tonight wasn't a good show. And after SmackDown, I believe we've got an hour or maybe a 2 hour Rampage show. AEW debuting their new Friday Night Rampage or whatever, so Jesus Christ, 4 hours of wrestling on a Friday night. You thought it couldn't get worse on Mondays. Monday Night Raw. 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. You thought it couldn't get worse, but now you've got fucking 4 hours of wrestling. 2 hours of SmackDown. 2 hours of AEW Rampage. But anyway, we're here to talk about SmackDown. If I'm still alive in 2 hours, then I might do a review on Rampage as well. We kick off SmackDown with I'm not doing as good a job as Paul Heyman, but still, I will try. John Cena comes out. Normally, I like seeing Cena, but this must be one of the most underwhelming Cena promos I've seen in a very, very long time. What kind of annoys me about Cena is every time we see him, he breaks kayfabe. Every promo now he cuts is essentially like admitting that the whole business is fake and that WWE are pushing Roman and that Roman Reigns isn't actually winning matches. He isn't actually beating people for real. He keeps breaking the fourth wall and he keeps admitting that WWE are pushing this guy to be at the top. And yeah, I get most people with a brain know that WWE it is scripted, but still, could you imagine if The Rock came out and said he could beat Stone Cold, but the writers are booking Austin to win and holding him back? I mean, what? Could you imagine that? That would have been fucking awful. But yeah, ever since I guess it was when they got into the reality era, they've kind of went into this. I mean, last time Cena basically, made fun of the fact that Roman Reigns couldn't cut a promo. Whereas back in the day, The Rock would have made fun of someone, but he wouldn't have buried them like that. He would have buried them in a kind of you kind of suck sort of way. Whereas Cena, and he keeps talking about other stuff. So he mentioned in this promo that he was going to beat Roman Reigns at SummerSlam 1, 2, 3, and the crowd chanted along. And then Cena must have thought he was onto something good because he kept repeating it. He kept going 1, 2, 3. I'm going to beat you 1, 2, 3 at SummerSlam. You're going to whip my ass, and it's going to be 1, 2, 3. And Cena, I mean, this crowd are shite. This crowd could chant that, this crowd could chant fucking Biden is the best president ever. It doesn't make it true, right? So why Cena was jumping along and doing this 1, 2, 3 thing? He was repeating it over and over as if it was great, and in reality it wasn't. It was pretty poor. Roman Reigns didn't really have much to say. He said he was going to smash John Cena. He says that Cena can come back and win the WWE title, but he can't win the Universal title. They also mentioned the Missionary thing and Cena, because Cena made a dick joke as well. It was a very lame joke. He was on about ratings. Cena was on about, it's school, this time of the year, school results, exam results, and Cena says the rating he's giving Roman Reigns is a D. And I think he was insinuating that he's getting a D for dick, but it was very poor for Cena. But Roman Reigns said that how he says Cena was talking about him making the dick jokes or sexual jokes, and Roman Reigns saying, yeah, Missionary might have been enough for these people, but it wasn't enough for Nikki Bella. That was the best thing to come out of this promo. But in reality, if you actually go on my channel, Son of Scotland 90, and you look, I can't remember which one it was, but I actually did a Total Extreme Wrestling video, and I cut more or less this exact same promo. I can't remember who it involved. I think it might have been The Miz and Maurice, actually. And I basically says that, Big Match John isn't Big John in the bedroom when Nikki Bella's concerned. And, but at least WWE are doing it 5 years later than me, but still, I mean, I came up with this shit fucking years ago. So, but yeah, it was the best line out of a really, really bad promo. Up next, and that was one and done. Cena, says I'll beat you at SummerSlam, and you're just going to be a trivia question. Again, garbage. I mean, Cena's great, but this was a really bad promo. Really bad considering it was the opening segment. You expect Cena to be the best thing on the show. This wasn't the best thing on the show, and it was a one and done. So you never seen Cena again. You never seen Roman Reigns again. I don't know why we can't get these two throughout the show, but nah. Garbage. Cena leaves. Roman Reigns standing in the ring smiling. So you know what? Poor start to the show. We then had Nakamura challenging Apollo Crews for the IC belt. Apollo Crews, who pretty much hasn't done anything with the belt since winning it, lost. So he lost to Nakamura. Nakamura celebrating. McAfee and this guitar guy are jumping around like absolute fucking mongoloids. I mean, this wasn't good. This was garbage. After this, we had Rey Mysterio and Dominic, aka David Flair 2.0, taking on the Dirty Dogs. And I mean, the dirty. What's dirty about them? What's dog like about them? Why not just call them the shite dogs? Because they're crap. I mean, Dolph Ziggler. This guy's been irrelevant. I mean, perhaps he could have had a better WWE career, but for me, I mean, just leave. I mean, gee, he's hanging around like a bad smell now. It's so irrelevant, and Bobby Roode has done absolutely nothing since coming in. I mean, it's hard to think that this guy was, you know, part of arguably the greatest team in TNA history, and actually had a very solid run as world champion, and ever since he came to WWE, done absolutely nothing, but hey, who cares? After that, we had... Christ, can't even remember. What did we have after that? What did we have? God, I actually cannot. I'm trying to think here, guys. What did we have? I'm trying to think. It wasn't. Oh, I think we the Street Profits versus the Alpha Academy. Street Profits won. The skinnier guy almost snapped his neck doing a dive over the top rope. No surprise there. Otis obviously was outside. He didn't take the pin, so Otis didn't look bad. I mean, this Otis looks pretty good, I guess, but I mean, where's it going? I don't know. What else was that? I mean, I can't remember what else happened. With Baron Corbin come out, said he was broke. Kevin Owens issued him. This was Corbin's last chance or something to make money before he went into bankruptcy. Kevin Owens said he would give him £1,000 if he beat him in a match. Kevin Owens stuns him. Then they come back for the break. So, I mean, you know, this just wouldn't happen back in the day. Austin back in the day wouldn't stun somebody and then they come back for the break and have a match because the stunner was protected. When Austin done the stunner, the match was over. You were no fit condition to continue. I mean, Kevin Owens hits a stunner and then they come back for the break and Corbin's having a match and almost beating him. Like, what the fuck's that all about? It just makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But anyway, Corbin wins. Owens wins. Sorry, Corbin doesn't get the £1,000. Then we have backstage, Corbin's getting interviewed and he attacks Big E and steals his Money in the Bank briefcase. So thank God. Hopefully Corbin keeps this, or maybe they'll do a match or something between Corbin and Big E at SummerSlam for the Money in the Bank briefcase. I don't know what they're going to do, but you know, it was interesting. I mean, Corbin's one of the best things on SmackDown at the moment, one of the best things in WWE at the moment. I've always liked Corbin, but I'm enjoying this whole he's broke storyline at the moment. It's pretty damn good. And his shirt, Corbin's shirt, the detail on his shirt, it's like every week he comes out, there's like more crinkles on his shirt, there's like more food stains on his shirt. Corbin's shirt's got more character than Finn Balor. Speaking of Finn Balor, where was Finn Balor on this show? Nowhere to be seen. I'm not going to complain about Finn not being on this show, but yeah, I mean, absolutely garbage. And then to end it, we have another contract signing. It feels like all we get now in WWE is contract signings. So out comes Sasha, out comes Bianca. Sasha looked hot tonight. I mean, she always kind of looks hot. Without makeup, like, she isn't that attractive, but when she, you know, makes an effort on WWE TV, she does really look good, and her outfits, she always looks like skanky, like slutty looking. So I mean, she is always hot on WWE, but I mean, I'm pretty sure when she jumps in, you know, the pool and has a swim and comes out, I'm not convinced otherwise. But yeah, so we have the contract signing. Sasha calls Bianca a bitch. The crowd erupt. The commentators are marking it as if this is the most amazing thing they've ever seen or heard. I mean, someone uttered the word bitch. Jesus Christ, man. Groundbreaking stuff here. I mean, I guess it's cool when they actually use adult language, but I mean, it doesn't make this promo great all of a sudden. Bianca says she needs, what is it? She needs witnesses to sign this contract. Out come Carmella and Selena Vega, who were also looking equally hot tonight. I mean, it's a shame. I mean, people will always remember, you know, the likes of Trish and Lita, their era. Even like Sunny and Sable further back, people will always remember them, you know, for being hot, and they were hot, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of attractive women in the WWE today. It's just the fact they're not really portrayed as hot, even though they are hot. They're not, like, you know, booked to be hot. They're not trying to be hot. Their appeal isn't to be sexy. Like BX6, Sasha Banks' appeal is to be, you know, the boss, a great wrestler. She isn't necessarily, you know, appealing to be this hot girl, but I mean they are, and it's a shame because if they were actually trying, I mean, fuck, it'd be great. Imagine you could have all the pillow fights, lingerie matches, bra and panties matches with these chicks, but unfortunately we don't get that. Then the contract signing ends with, you know, a 3-on-1 beatdown of Bianca Belair, and the show goes off the air. So I mean, there you go, guys. It wasn't a great show. I'll give it a. I can't even remember what happened for like an hour of this show, so how much of a good rating can I give it in reality, you know? If I can't remember what happened, I can hardly go and give it a good rating, so I'll give it a 2. Sasha Banks, Carmella and Selena Vega look pretty hot at the end, and I don't mind the Baron Corbin stuff. Disappointed with John Cena. It's not often John Cena disappoints, but tonight he did. I'm giving this a 2, guys. Until next time, let me know what you think down below in the comments, and peace.